All right. I think this is Game Recognized Game Podcast number 20, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 19, but I'm pretty sure it's 20 now.
I think it's 20.
Which is
That's
cool.
crazy. This is the last episode till, right?
For the year, yeah.
Wait, because we got, what's today? No, today's the 20. No, we got
23rd.
one more episode. We could just be like, no, we ain't doing an episode next week, and just be like,
yeah, hey, 20 episodes in 2020. Let's not mess with it.
So yeah, let's just, we might do like a recap. So it's not really episode 20, but it's like a recap.
Hey man, it's like when we hoop, man. You always play the 20
year recap. Nah, let's just see what at 20. We don't wanna,
Yeah, we don't want to mess with anything. 2020 already been a crazy year. Let's just end it on that even number.
Yeah.
It's going to be 2021 next year, so, it only makes sense if you align the amount of episodes with the amount in the decade, but I don't know, man. It might be a good omen to have 21 episodes going into 2021 because
we'll have 21 episodes, but we'll just have it as, just a full,
yeah, starting the 21st episode in 2021 may actually make sense.
I didn't think of it that way, actually. No, you're right.
Yeah. We'll have like a recap. We'll have like a recap next week, and then 21. 21.
Dude, what if next year is worse? Man.
Hey.
Dude, that's
it's
a good
crazy
point.
To think about it. It's like this whole year was, aside from the Lakers and Dodgers winning, the whole year was trash. Straight up like trash, like progressively each month. Not gonna say each month it got progressively worse, but each month had its fair share of just
at least we'll be starting off with some stimulus checks. So hey.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Everyone's starting fresh, like you starting a brand new game. Okay, everyone, here's your rations. Let's start off this new year. Go crazy.
Hey, what did they say? How much were they gonna give? Like 2 racks?
I don't know. Is that like the new one? Because at first it was 600.
Yeah. So what happened was the original bill is $600 for pretty much everybody. But if you're married, you get I guess you get $1,200. But Donald Trump stopped the bill because he wants it to be $2,000 per person. Now they have to vote.
But I think that's we all want more money. But Donald Trump did that as he was just trying to be petty. He was like, oh man, if I was in charge, I'd give y'all more money. So everyone's like, what? We can get more money? Oh yeah, we want more money. Run that. So now the government's like, oh, this Donald Trump over here. Now we got to give these people more money because you want to act like we got. Okay, so now they're like, okay, we'll give y'all more. So, I mean, yay, we get more money, but at the same time, I was like, damn, Trump is that dude petty, bro.
I don't know about all that, man. Maybe Trump was like, hey, I actually met the real people, the real blue collar roots of America, and I was like, that 600 ain't gonna cut it, bro. This has been a rough year for them. Like, we need more than that. We need triple.
It goes both ways. But I mean, yeah, I'm happy for, more money. But at the same time, it's like, dang, Trump really just threw him under the bus. Like, dang, if I was president, if I was still in charge, man, I'd be giving y'all double that, triple that, man. I'll give y'all, we got money printers. Yeah, I'll be printing everybody money.
But how bad does that look though when it's like, they're like, okay, we have this, we're gonna give you guys an extra free $600, and Trump's like, that's not enough for the American public. and then Nancy Pelosi or whoever else comes back and they're like, what are you doing? Like, well, let's just get this little bit through. Like, you're telling the voters and shit, you guys don't deserve more money. Like, just take what we're giving you. So it's a better look. It's a good look on Trump's part.
Yeah, and that's not what people are gonna talk about though. They're never gonna be like, oh, Trump actually, they're gonna make it look, bad in the sense. And there are reasons, but at the same time, it's like he's just trying to get everyone more money. Like if you put out a poll, hey, do you guys want more money or less money? 100% is gonna tell you, yeah, we want more money. That's gonna be the first 100% poll you guys ever have. So yeah, that's a dub to Trump for us too, giving us more money again. So hey, gotta give credit where credit's due.
You kind of gotta admire like the consistency of how he just finds a way to just stick it to him. Like he's on his way out, he still finds a way to be like, nah, man, still got one more month. I'm gonna still be fucking with you. And then, dude, like we forget he didn't even get impeached. Like he was still in the office, like he finished the term. But I mean, that props, man. You know, find a way to stick it to him. You know, I could admire that.
See, here's my problem. Where was this 2 months ago? Where was this?
I don't know. They were busy. Yeah, they were busy with the elections, man.
Elections. This should have been the whole like election. His whole election should have been based on. Let me try to give you guys 2,000.
I don't think.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. If let's just say a week before the election, Trump comes out and he's like, I want to give everyone a $2,000 stimulus check. Like, that's what I want to do before the end of 2020. Would that have changed your vote at all, knowing everything else that went on?
Who voted?
I don't think you're supposed to use money as like a bribe, though.
Yeah, I'm not speaking about morality, but I'm speaking about if that was on the table, if he threw that out there before the election, does that change your vote at all?
It might not to me, but to some people who aren't voting, or I say that because I voted for neither of them, but if I'm talking to someone who's voting against Trump, they're going to tell you, oh, is it worth $2,000 that, you know, he's doing this? That's always their argument. Like, oh, is it worth $1,000 that he's saying this, you know? That's so it's that like, oh, you're gonna let him buy you off so he can be, so that's gonna be the argument. So
well, what do they do for us?
Exactly, it goes both ways. But that's always when people are like, oh, you're being a sellout, or oh, you're taking the money. That's always the question. Oh, well, what are you doing for me?
Who's the one saying this? Who's the one saying you're a sellout? Who? The Democrats, the politicians? The biggest sell, man. This is oxymoronic altogether.
Yeah, that's why it comes down to just you. Whatever you want to do it. If you feel like, you know, you want to do something for yourself, go ahead. If you feel like, oh man, I can't handle, you know, what this person's gonna say about me if I do this or whatever, then do what everyone else is doing. But
yeah, bro, you just, bro.
It's all about me.
Your favorite rapper was bought off. All right, like.
But everyone has their reasons, though. That's what I'm saying. Everyone has their reasons, though. I can't judge someone else. I can't judge someone else for, you know, that's you. I'm gonna do what I have to do. It might not be what you're gonna do, but hey.
All y'all would have just changed your vote at that. At least you would have thought about it long and hard, and been like, man, this dude talking about another stimulus check.
Yeah, I would think about it, but I mean, and then I'm still in the same mentality that, man, if my vote's not really gonna matter, really, like.
Hey, did y'all actually vote? Did anybody actually vote?
I did vote.
Yeah.
You took the time to go and vote.
Yeah.
I mean, bro.
Yeah, I wanted to vote,
man. You know,
I did it for the culture.
Right.
Oh man, yeah! Shout out to those stimulus checks, man. Trump gets this thing through. I mean, hey, there may be another. We may have to see about what's gonna happen. Was it 2028 or 2024? We may have to see.
I'm already hearing some smoke about this. I forgot her name. Some Latino candidate, some lady. Maybe, I'm not sure, but I'm hearing a lot of people backing her, a lot of women talking about her, like, oh, she's gonna be the first woman president.
No.
Some Latino.
Honestly, women, I think the whole women's president, it all depends on how Kamala does. Like, if you don't hear like any.
That's the other thing. I was like, you think some Latino lady's gonna come in while Kamala's there as vice president and be like, oh, you're gonna be the first president? Nah, it's not. Kamala's trying to take that. And that's and I was like, yo, you know what? I want that to happen. I want there to be two women just to show everybody what's like the real, like how women really are. Like when it comes down to like, you know, two girls going at it, like they get dirty. And then that's going to be the thing where people are going to be like, dang, let's think about, you know, I'm not to be offensive or anything, you know, I'm just straight up with it. But people are going to be like, this is why we don't want a woman in office.
They
get emotional.
Montel Williams picture on Kamala.
They get they get emotional, and then they may say the wrong thing. They bring up the wrong things. You see these girls going at it on Twitter and stuff, you know, bringing up old pictures and stuff like, oh, remember when you was this and that? Like, you don't know.
Hey, so, you know, the thing is, I can see where CJ is coming from, because it's like, statistically speaking, I'm guessing, right? Like from experiences, right? I'm not, because we're not trying to, you know, make a generalization.
Mm-hmm.
We're just saying, in our experience with the women that we've been around, there's a lot of times where things get very passive aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Things aren't very like directly communicated. Emotions run high. Sometimes, you know, things are said. Impulse.
Like things are okay. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's a valid point, I guess.
Those debates
might not, huh? Look, hey, my sister.
You was putting these Latinos and these, you know, blacks in jail. What are you gonna do about that?
About us.
You don't care about us. You know, you ain't one of us. You running with Biden. You running with the white man. Kamala gonna be like, oh, well, you so. You don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, hey, she got some skeletons in her closet, but like, this is all I'll say. I'll say this: there have been a good amount of girls. My sister, who goes to high school right now, they have told me, look, I ain't gonna cap. Some of these chicks are snakes. They're snakes. Some of them are. She told me straight in my face. Her friend was there too. She was just like, these girls are snakes. I'm like, I mean, shit, it's coming up, you know. Statistically speaking, this is just,
hey, man, hey, game recognized game. I was just thinking about this the other day. I was like, dude, are guys just that stupid, or are girls just that good at game? Like, a lot of girls, I'm just like, man, their game was, I look at it objectively, I'm just like, you gotta take your cap, dude. Like, this game was like solid all throughout. You look at fat girls online. Like, just think about the laziest dude you know in the world, right? And then think about a fat girl online. And no, I have nothing against fat girls or anything like that, but I'm just like, don't work out, don't really do that much. And then you have to angle shots and dudes, you have a dude coming through and he's expecting all his shit. He's spent all his money. He drove out there. Maybe he's paying for a meal too. You show up, barely even like putting in any effort. And then it's just like,
hey, look, hey, that's the dude's fault, okay? At that point, man, that's the dude's fault. Why are you driving over there paying all his money? That's your fault.
But what I'm saying is, like, look how much, like, she leveraged her situation, dude. I'm like, bro, how did you, like.
It's easier, and we know this. It's easier for women. It's easier for a girl who, I always use this analogy. Right? It's easier for the ugly girl in high school to get a date to prom than it is for the ugly guy in high school to get a date for prom. The ugly girl, she can still, some random dude who's drunk enough or some random dude who's desperate enough is going to be like, go to the ugliest girl and still want to, you know, hook up. Because guys are just like that. There's one guy who's going to be like, oh, you know, it's okay. For girls, though, even if you're the ugliest dude, you might go home, you know, solo that night. You might leave the club solo no matter what. All the girls, there might be a chance all of them can at least leave with some dude. That if you're an ugly dude, you might be going home solo. So.
Okay, I agree with you. But at the end of the day, it comes back to the game, though, because it's like, bro, let's just say that situation's true. But instead of that ugly dude, like, he's like struggling, trying to like ask these girls out or whatever.
Yeah,
because it's all about the overall strategy. It's like, dude, what if you just take $100. You go pay a prostitute, tell her, yo, dress up, show up to prom. And you're not even gonna like try to do anything, in the hotel. You're not getting anything afterwards. I just need you to show up, look good.
Yeah.
We're gonna like dance for a second. We'll talk by the punch bowl. I'm gonna say what's up to my boys. We're gonna pass the cute girl table, take a picture together. And now for the whole next year, people know like, oh damn, that dude bought a baddie.
But see, this is the PG version of what you're talking about. In all those Disney movies, you have the loser kid in the school. What happens? For some weird reason, there's some supermodel or some actress who like becomes his date. Or wasn't it like Agent Cody Banks or something? Like Hilary Duff was like his date, and she was, or some movie like an actress or singer was like the date for the loser.
Okay. They're the same age.
But the only difference is that they didn't have to pay for it. That's the Disney version. Oh, we don't want to condone prostitution. But they're telling you this is the only way you're gonna get a girl. It's something out of the ordinary, a supermodel or some actress. So that's in real life. You need to pay for a prostitute. That's the only way you're gonna get.
No, it's not. You're missing what I'm saying though. What I'm saying is
no. I get what you're saying, but so now I have to pay. You're still having to pay someone.
There's always some payment involved, bro.
No, this one is, I managed to run into some actress. I saved this actress' life, and she repays me by being my prom date. Happily ever after at the end.
Here's a better example. Yesterday, like Paul George is talking to Charles Barkley, right? And Charles Barkley asked him, like, hey, is it fair that stars get special treatment? And what Paul George had a perfect answer. Don't agree with a lot of the stuff that he talks about most of the time, or his life decisions, but he had a perfect answer. You put in the work, you can get the special treatment. And what he was saying was like, dude, I didn't start off getting the special treatment. I put in the work initially. So now I'm in a position to get special treatment. So same thing if you're a guy and you're on the bottom, like you need to put in the work initially, and then eventually you don't have to work for certain things anymore. You kind of just get them because you're on that level. So you got no girls. You need to show girls like, nah, I can get girls. And then they'll be like, dang, CJ brought like a baddie through prom. Who was that girl? Blah, blah. Is that she from another school? She from college? Like, I know he's a rapper now. Like, maybe like she's from the record label. Let me go talk. Let me just like slide into a DM and see what's up. So now after prom, you have like 6 girls who are on you. Yeah. But you have to put in the work first to be like, yo, I'm on this level now. Now afterwards, you don't have to put in any work anymore.
Just don't hit the side of the backboard.
Yeah. See, based on what Toss just said right now, you invite a girl to prom and she doesn't look like her photos, but you paid though. That would be hitting the backboard.
Don't you guys feel like it's a double-edged sword though? Because for like the mentality of like most women, it's like they're a lot more analytical. But sometimes being very analytical can kind of make you stagnant because you're sort of stuck and you can't make a decision. As for guys, we're like a lot more black and white. So it's like what CJ was saying. It's like, yeah, some of us will probably take the ugliest chick, but it's like in our mentality, it's like, hey man, I'm just trying to score a bucket tonight, like.
Yeah, that's why I was, because for girls, they're thinking about, is this guy?
Yeah, like what if I do this, then this happens.
Yeah,
then,
guys, it's just like if we go out, it's like it's kind of a rinse repeat. You're like,
I got a mission, I got an objective.
Drink, I'm gonna have fun. I want to go, be with the girl. I want to end off the night with the girl. Getting some. That's kind of so some dudes. It gets to the point where it's like, my goal is to do it, so I'm gonna do it.
Like if we make a decision, more often than not, we stick with that decision. Yeah. Like we following through.
And we already know, like, I'm going to be okay with the end game.
Yeah. It's like, have you guys ever tried to, like, go out with a party girl? Like a party chick? Like she,
And they're
like
just,
Like everything is oriented.
Everything's just go.
Everything's just based on the mood. Like you'll make a date. And like, all right, cool, we'll meet up on Saturday or whatever. And then like Saturday rolls up, it's like, oh yeah, my friend's having a birthday. And I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna bring this out of the blue. All right, cool. And then, all of a sudden,
like
you know, that same night, they're just like, they're just like, oh, I'm on ecstasy, da-da-da, or, you know, come over here and fuck me, or some shit like that. And just like, what you talking about? I'm already comfortable in my bed. Like, what do you, like, things are never going to be, like, concrete, you know? Shit just kind of just changes up. It goes through the moods. So when you talk about, like, having a woman president, and when things are just kind of dictated by mood, you know, that could kind of be, like, dangerous territory, I guess, shaky territory you could put it on.
And that's the thing that most, when they're going to vote, that's what they're thinking about. Before I was thinking, I was like, okay, let me look at what other countries have women leaders. A lot.
Yeah, Bangladesh does.
A lot. Like, a lot of countries, like, they have women leaders. But the thing is, America is a whole different animal, man. America is just a whole different animal. And it's crazy because in other countries, well, I don't know, a lot of countries kind of see women as, you know, lesser, you know, in some countries, at least coming up in history. But now you have women leaders everywhere. America is supposed to be like the, you know, everyone's equal. Everyone never had a woman president, ever. So it's because of that. I don't know what's going to change.
Yeah, it's interesting, but
I mean,
you guys are like, you got to think about, like, traditional girls, though. Like, do you think that a girl who's like...
No, we're not thinking about traditional girls, man. I'm just saying, statistically speaking, from our experience, that's all.
Well, what I'm saying is, those, like... Yeah, but a girl who's going to be president, you're talking about, like, a 50-year-old woman. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be that... I don't think her emotions will be as much as, you know, typical girl.
True. They'll be, but we're not talking about too much of, like, decisions, like the basic decisions of president. We're talking about, like, the running, the campaigning, the debates, and then, like, all of the drama that comes with it. Mm-hmm. You know how it is during the election time? Oh, this person said this. Oh, we're going back. Oh, I've already seen pictures of her and Monty. You think they're going to pull those up too? How's she going to react to those? That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about, you know,
let me ask you this,
in office and stuff like that.
Say if you're president, right? If shit hits the fan, what are you going to do? Are you going to listen to the counsel of your advisors and then make a logical decision off of that? Or are you going to go with your gut and make a gut decision if shit hits the fan?
Good question. I mean,
well, me personally, I listen to my advisors. Okay, I would trust that I would have.
Are you asking me?
Qualified people around me? Huh?
That was a rhetorical question.
I mean, we don't know. We don't know what either of them's going to say as a woman, but for the most part, that's what people kind of assume. And that's what kind of stops them from being like, okay, I'm okay with the president. Until someone can prove to us or show, like, majority, which means that they would obviously get majority votes, that they're not like that, then obviously we'll have a first woman president. But till then, I just don't see it happening.
Hey, I'm cool with a woman president. I'll vote for her if she seems sensible. You know, like, I'm not against it at all.
If she seems sensible.
Exactly.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
The way I vote, whoever's putting most money in my pocket. That's it.
There you go. And that's why I didn't vote.
That's not. If you wanted money in your pocket, you would have voted for Trump.
Dude, if I want money in my pocket, I gotta go get the mail. I gotta fill shit out. I gotta take time off of work, send it in. You know, that's 30 minutes, bro. Like, come on, man.
You can't just say that, just blanket like that. Like, it depends. Because, like, okay, you're black, so, like, Are there going to be more black laws? Who's going to make more of those for people?
Man,
I live in California. It doesn't
black
matter.
laws,
My
man.
vote doesn't
We
matter.
already know it. We live by a whole different law. It don't matter if we do.
Bro, if you're a business owner, yeah, you want those tax loopholes and stuff that Trump would sort of advocate for. But like, if you're
but for like the average black person, like the shit's always gonna be, you know, there's always gonna
the
be a
same,
hurdle.
bro. It's just gonna be the same. I ain't worried about who's gonna do it. Everything's the same. The only time there was a change was when Obama was president. People just looked at us different, like, okay, I can respect it. That was the only time.
What are you talking?
You can bring on until you bring another black president, and I'll be happy. Then you can talk about black laws, because then it was like, I can't talk shit to him because our president's black. Because I could always be like, man, our president's black. What you gonna say? So that's the only time it felt like, okay, there's some black, you know, there's like some type of halo over our head, like, okay, your perspective, you know. Until then, I don't care about
that. Also, he was cool. Like he was a cool president. Like as a person, you know, like he was
exactly.
Cool.
That's why it made us look, because it was like, you know what, Obama's a cool guy. This black guy's pretty cool. It wasn't like he was some old, boring black guy to where everyone could at least make fun of him. Like, man, he's boring. Like, you know, there was nothing anybody could say about Obama. There was like nothing anybody could say.
People don't know this, but there's also a lot of people that voted for Trump that just weren't like messing with Hillary that voted for Obama. Like there's a large group of those people too. Like people get a gauge of like the person. That's what it is, a popularity contest. If you can get a gauge of somebody's vibe and you fuck with it, you'll probably vote for them. But I mean, shit, man, Hillary, like that lesbian haircut and everything, you know, it's not gonna like help her cause, or you feel me? And we're just gonna act like your husband. Like, come on, bro. Like, you just gonna act like.
Bill's cool.
Bill's cool. Bill's cool, but it's like, hey, look, like you're running for president, you gonna act like we don't know you, bro? Like, come on.
Hey, Bill, the first black president.
What you fooling?
Hey, Bill, cool.
Hey, Bill was on that special marriage service. Oh man,
can't hate, man. You can't hate. You know, I probably would have done the same thing. Like, how did that even happen? How did they get married, bro? Like, I don't know. I don't even want to get into that. It's all good.
But yeah, man, that's gonna be interesting. Hopefully, those stimulus checks kind of come through. But yeah, man, good thing at least we got Toss back on the show now. At the end of the year, you know, after his hiatus, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, I've been in the lab, man. I'll be cooking up some stuff, but you know, y'all know about that later.
Dude, I'm just happy you didn't give me one of those one-word answers like Paul, like Kevin Durant yesterday. It's just like, hey, KD, you kind of were working all summer, huh? Yeah. All right.
Put my sunglasses on, just be like, I just do it.
Man, you ain't me, but I'm glad you're, you know, taking notes.
What are you talking about?
I mean, that's obviously how I would handle it, so I'm taking notes and shit. But
I didn't teach you everything you know. It's all good, though.
Let's get into it, though. CJ, what you got this week? You got any played yourselves or any MVP moments?
Man. So I'm keeping watch on this James Harden news, man. And I knew it was going to get to a point where it's just like, come on, bro. Like, it's enough. We understand you're the man in Houston. You know, you don't want to practice. Cool. But the season started. It's time to get back into, you know, season mode. No. Instead, he goes out to a party, you know, before the game. And now the game's postponed. He gets fined. The team has to go. The game has to be postponed because they don't have enough players. Because now Houston Rocket players have to go on COVID protocol because James Harden was out partying. So now the whole team is, you know, Thunder Rockets don't get a game. You know, a lot of fans, you know, the team getting ready, you know, a lot of players, you know, missing out all because of one dude. That's when it's like, okay, come on, bro. Now you're just acting like a diva.
It was Lil Baby's party, though. I heard it was lit. Seen the Instagram story.
That's when it's like, come on, bro. The season started. Now it's time to get to work. We get it. You don't want to be there, but there's a time where, it's time to, be responsible. And I don't know. He's acting like a diva, man. And it's just I have to give him the L. Because it's like, come on, man. It's the first game of the season. People are, looking forward to this. You got fans. Be respectful to other people. If it's just yourself, then cool. If you're like, oh, I'm not going to come. I'm not going to show up. Cool. At least say that. But to come out being like, I don't care, and then you're screwing it up for everybody, that's where it's like, damn, bro. Like, nah, that's not cool. So
where was all this last week?
That didn't happen last week. Last week,
I love James Harden, man.
Yeah, because that was cool. It was like we're talking about practice. We talking about off-season basketball. Man, tell me when the season start. That's what I was thinking. I was like, man, call me when the season start. I'll drop 60 for you. Instead, the season started. He didn't even get to play. Instead, he postponed it. That's where I'm like, okay, that's an L. That's an L.
I mean, basically, what I get from what you're saying is you don't mess the money up. Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, now you're getting fined.
You're touching his head and stuff. He's like, hey, why don't you knock him out? He's like, hey, don't mess the money up. We get paid to fight. We gonna fight. Like, let's not mess up the money.
Exactly. Now you're getting fined for it. You messing up everybody else's money. Now everyone's gonna look at you like, bro, really? If it's just you, that's a different story. You messing it up on yourself, you a dummy. But now you messing up for everybody else. Now it's like, damn, bro, like, really?
His team's not even that bad if you look at it, man. Like, got John Wall coming back healthy. Got that rookie that came in, scored like 27 points. Got DeMarcus Cousins looking like he's gonna be healthy. It's just, I think he's just salty about the front office, how they did like Daryl Morey.
That everybody he knows gone. All his boys are gone. I was just like, damn. It's just me with a bunch of. I mean, it's not like, but he has his reasons. Whatever. Maybe he wants a new start somewhere. I don't know, but this ain't the way to go, though. I think you play it out. I think you play it out until you're trash.
Don't you think they should make a trade with Brooklyn though, for what they get?
Nah, because Brooklyn looks good already by himself.
Dude, get out of here, bro.
If Houston, like, wouldn't it be a good trade for Houston though, if Brooklyn was game?
Yes.
For who though? Who are they getting though in that trade?
They give up Harden. They get what's his name? Jared Allen, Dinwiddie, and
because I think Houston said they have to get either Kyrie or KD for Harden.
No.
You see now you trade him. Man, come on, bro.
Because that was what they said. They said they're not doing the trade unless they're getting either Kyrie or KD.
Bro, we could make an argument that James Harden isn't even as good or even that much better than Kyrie or KD. Now they're on the same level, bro. Like,
maybe KD. I'd say KD's better than Harden, but Harden and Kyrie Harden's maybe a little bit better.
Kyrie comes through in the clutch. Harden had plenty of opportunities.
Yeah, true. But I mean, Harden, he's dropping. 40,
who
50,
cares,
60,
man? Hey, how many players come into a team and they?
No, you're right. You're right for their role. Yeah, Kyrie's clutch, but if you're just talking about to carry a team, like everybody's Harden's factor, KD's factor, Harden has that superstar.
Look, man, the GOAT himself said it. All right, rest in peace. Kobe said, the way that Houston plays ball, he's never gonna win a championship that way. He just wants to score. That's not gonna. And Mike D'Antoni didn't help the cause any either. Like, that's not gonna make it any better. My philosophy to defense, more offense, doesn't work.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting too, because Nets don't. I mean, they got size. That's the only thing that helps them. But I want to see how their defense is, because they got
depth too. Like, their bench is deep, man. They got Karis LeVert. They got Jared Allen's a defensive.
Dinwiddie's still there too, which is big.
Yeah, they got DeAndre Jordan.
But that was to keep Dinwiddie. That was huge because I didn't know if he was still.
I think that when I looked at it, the funny thing was about this whole Houston situation is like, man, these black coaches just don't get a break in the NBA at all. Like,
that's what I'm saying, bro.
All these
that's the job they gave to him. That's the job they gave. They didn't give Steve Nash that job. No,
bro.
They were like, no, give him the Houston job.
the white coach is their first year. I'm like, who's the guy from the Raptors? He walks in his first year. We got Kawhi Leonard now. I'm like, all right, win a championship. Steve Kerr's first year. Hey, you have the 2 best shooters of all time. Just see what you can do. All right, and then Steve Nash.
They gave Atlanta's last 2 head coaches, black dudes. They gave it to that one commentator, whatever his name is, and then this new dude. They moved that other Dwayne Casey to freaking Detroit. Dwayne Casey. They moved Dwayne Casey from Toronto, who next season won a championship. They moved him to Detroit. Come on, dog.
Bro, I was like looking at this. I'm like, this is some bull. Like Steve Nash first team ever.
Zion Williamson is now on the Pelicans. Hey, Alvin Gentry, you need to get out there, bro. You need to get out. What?
Bro.
Excuse me?
Hey, he got a ring.
It's just,
wait, no, never mind. He didn't. My bad. I got him confused with Lionel Hollins.
I'm just like, man, there's a conspiracy out there from my boys. So I'm like,
that's
dude,
crazy.
This is crazy. Steven Silas first time, like, hey, you got James Harden. You guys like, James Harden don't want to be there. I'm like, damn, dude.
I mean, at least we got like owners, and the Usaya Ujiri thing was big. You know, he's like the biggest. Everybody wants him. The Wizards want him on their front office, and all these other teams want him on the front office. So,
yeah,
I mean, we got that.
African coaches yet.
Owners though, they make some big moves.
I think besides a GM, but yeah,
I mean, but like the ones who are making moves inside the office. There. Coaches or whatever. I'm not really, there's we got some black coaches who college coaches. Who was Georgetown's coach? Wasn't Patrick Ewing coaching him or something like that?
Yeah, I think he was doing some coaching. I forget what team he was on though, but
I think it was Georgetown. I think.
Yeah, he played for Georgetown. I think he was assistant coach.
Yeah. Shout out to that.
But
dude, I saw. We're not gonna go down this route. I saw a girl get a job for a coach. I forgot what it was, but she didn't get a job. It was the story was like black guys. Who should coach, black dudes or like this white girl who's a better coach or whatever? I was like, this is not. We're
talking about the Spurs.
I don't think it has anything. I don't think it has anything to do with, that. If you have a good squad, I mean, if you just at least know, how to coach,
bro. It does.
I don't think having a female coach is gonna matter.
It does.
Other than maybe like the vibes, like the.
Okay, imagine this, right?
But are we talking about coaching, or are we talking about just the overall like
coaching
outside of coaching?
Well, okay, no, I mean all of it. It encompasses everything.
You talking about motivating the players or motivating the organization? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about like all aspects, like respect
as a coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
So imagine you, me, Toss, we throw in some of our other friends are on there. We're on a team. And then, like, we get someone's, like, mom is going to coach our team. And then she's like, we're playing a game or whatever. It's a close game coming down to the wire. And, like, hey, CJ, we're going to have you sit down and we're going to bring in Shakati now. You're like, what? Nah. You're just like, you're not going to respect.
Okay. But is she making that decision off of, like, a tactical decision, or is she making it off?
There's all some sort of tactics.
Then I mean, I'll react the same way I would react if it was a dude. If I felt like, man, coach, I should still be in. No, if it was a dude, I'd be like, what? And I felt like I'm better or whatever. If I felt like that, I'd be like, what? If I agreed with it, I'd be like, okay, cool. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a woman or a man. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
this might be unless
you're talking about like you're in the locker room, you can't say certain jokes.
Yeah, obviously.
Like,
here's the thing though.
Yeah,
remember the Bulls? Coaching? Remember the Bulls from last season with their garbage ass coach from last season? Why didn't he have the respect of the players? Because he didn't know what the hell he was doing. He never played basketball. The biggest factor was he never played the game. A lot of the players didn't respect him with the decisions that he was making because it looked like he didn't know what he was doing because he never played the game. So it's not to say, like, if you put a woman coach there, like, she's not going to be successful. She might be. The Spurs assistant coach, what's her name, Becky Hammond or whatever, I mean, she's getting tutored by Greg Popovich, so you're obviously gonna get a lot out of that. But if it comes to a point where the team is struggling, shit's going on or whatever, like that might be in the back of a lot of players' heads where there's like, you never played the game. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of, especially with a star player, where it's like, look, I know what we got to do. Okay, just let me run the show. Okay, just go over there, sit down. I'll take care of it. But it might be a battle of the egos.
And I feel like that's going to be the same reaction even if it's a dude too. If a dude's a star, it doesn't matter if it's a woman coach or a guy coach. He's going to be like, hey, man, what are you talking about? Like, it's not going to be like, oh, it's a woman. I'm going to be able to talk to her. I don't feel like they're going to be like that. I don't feel like that's how they're going to feel. I think it's just going to be like
the thing is like, what happens when things are not going well? You know what I mean? Like Paul George in the bubble is depressed.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those are the outside of like the actual coaching. Because when you're talking about a coach, yeah, you're kind of talking about like who can write down the X's and O's, make the plays. But when you're talking about like, I guess, dealing with stuff like that, like maybe a star player's ego and stuff, that'll be harder because that's more like a human to human thing. And then you have other aspects like, the whole workplace, some dudes might say stuff that's inappropriate or they might look at her a certain way. But I mean, usually in those settings, and let's be honest, in those settings when we have women like at the gym, when we go to the gym, we have the girls who are like working, in the front or in those, or like our gym teachers. They're usually pretty cool though. Like girls who are in sports, they're not too like sensitive like that. They're usually pretty cool. They can joke around. They can be tough to where it's a respectable level. Like you can respect someone knowing, okay, you can hang. If
they have the same passion.
Yeah, when a girl comes in and she's like, you do something or say something, but they kind of react to you like the same way a dude would react to you. Like they're still tough, or like they go back at you. You're like, okay, I can respect that. And then that's where you build that. Okay, she's my coach. I respect that. Like if she tells me something, I know like she knows what she's talking about. So that's how I see like it's different from just like.
So you're talking about like the mutual respect that they could get is if they both have the same passion for the game, and they both have like the same understanding of it. That's when you get the locker room. Like a woman can coach in the NBA. A woman can coach in the NBA. The gender wouldn't have anything to do with it. The only factor that would have something to do with it, may have something to do with it, is if they didn't play the game themselves.
Or they didn't. Coaches, yeah, they had like no history of it.
Yeah. And some coaches they never played the game, but their resume speaks for itself. Like Greg Popovich, he never actually played basketball, but he knows how to coach a team. He knows how to motivate players. He knows how to like keep a system organized, and the championships speak for itself. You know what I'm saying? But there's other coaches where it's like they're doing all this shit, they're doing all this stuff, but they're still losing. Like the Bulls last season, the dude didn't. Their coach, what was his name, Jim Boylan or whatever.
Yeah, Boylan.
Like, yeah, the dude never played professional basketball, and he's like taking time away from Zach LaVine. He's making all these stupid coaching decisions, calling dumb timeouts. Like, that's going to frustrate the locker room. And then they interview him and they ask him, like, why did you do that? Or why did you take out LaVine? And he's just like, because I did that, because that's my decision. And it's like, that's what? You're not going to – that's mainly the biggest thing is just like if you don't have experience yourself and you're supposed to motivate these guys that do this thing for a living as a professional, that might be the only thing that gets in the way. But as far as being a woman, I don't think that's going to be like that big of a deal if she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, dude, speaking of women in the NBA, I don't know why this girl keeps popping up. We keep talking about her every single week, but like, dude, Larsa Pippen, I was going to go like super negative with this, but then I have to flip it around. I was like, I just got to give her a W. Like this girl like is still apparently living in Scottie Pippen's house.
Oh.
And Malik Beasley just came out that his wife issued a divorce, like a letter of divorce or whatever, like last week.
Mm-hmm.
And then this Christmas photo comes out of Larsa Pippen in Minnesota in front of a white Christmas tree. And this is like, oh, like, you know, they're in love in Minnesota, being romantic, blah, blah, blah. I was like, damn, how'd you get
with the Beasley guy?
With Beasley, yeah. So now Beasley is divorcing.
And she's still living with Scotty?
Yeah.
But she's out with Beasley.
Yeah.
What? At this point, you just gotta get in the ring.
How did she win everything?
Yo, she was with him for his 24th birthday in Miami. Just kicking it. Bro, this lady coming back in the same, man.
Bro, this lady took the most valuable thing from Scotty, which was his last name, kept that, living in the man's house, and then you upgraded to like an up and coming dude. I was watching the Timberwolves game. This guy's actually scoring buckets on Blake Griffin.
He's not upcoming, bro. He's just some dude.
Yo, she bad as hell though. I'm not even gonna lie,
he's just one of those like lucky players in the league who like.
He's the new. You know who he is? He's the new Chris Humphries. You know what I mean? Because like before Kim Kardashian got with him, you're like, who's Chris Humphries?
Wait, Malik Beasley?
Yeah.
Doesn't he play for Denver?
He plays for the T-Wolves.
He plays for the Timberwolves.
Oh yeah.
He used to play for Denver, I think.
It's like we don't know who he is. The only reason we know you is because you're your girlfriend. You're the new Chris.
Anyway, he's more like Amon Shumpert.
I mean, honestly, I don't really care that much about the dude, but I'm just this other girl now. I'm like, she is gaming she's at a high level, dude. She's like one of those like.
I mean, yeah, she's a cougar. She's been around, bro. She's from the Real Housewives or whatever. So she knows how to play the game. She's an OG.
She MVP, bro. She I have to like at least consider her a nominated nation because I'm like, this is so many appearances on the show.
Those are the top tier that you want to get when you come to like, you know, when we talking about like OG women. Like that's what I'm talking about, man.
Hey, if you're an established young man in the LA area, you know, it's your time, bro. It's your time. It's usually a 3-month contract you got to sign. Man.
It's just this is crazy. Boy went and divorced his wife with a new baby.
That's what I'm saying. Look, marriage. It just goes back, man. Marriage
She divorced him. She divorced him after the news.
Bro, marriage is like the public school system.
And he had another side chick too. That's the thing, like, and his wife didn't even know about the side chick until Larsa. So it's like,
hey, she still got the last name though. He probably drowning himself in side chicks, but he still lost he lost the war, bro.
This is just insane, bro. I heard about that.
Both dudes lost. She's the only one who came out, you know, on top.
But shout out to shout out to Rondo, and there's another guy on the Bills who like their girlfriends are actually like Rondo's girlfriend like punched another girl who was like trying to like get some money.
Yeah.
And then some other Bills girl, some guy in the Bills like he didn't make it to the Pro Bowl, so his girlfriend was like capping on Twitter like, oh, like NFL's rigged and shit. So I was like, man, like I guess if you had a girl, like I guess you would want her to be like that, right? You'd want her to be like fighting for you and shit. But
to a point, I mean, I want my girl to be like sinister with it though. I don't want her to be like, oh, let me go at this, you know, girl. And I want my girl to be like, we get in the car and she's like, hey, let's go, you know, throw this bomb inside this other girl's car. Like,
you want a chick that's machiavellian. Yeah, that's what you want.
I want a girl who's like, hey, let's sit down and draw out this plan. How we gonna like get these niggas? Like,
man, you trying to date Sun Tzu? That's what he tried to go after, bro. Man. I get what you're saying, though, man. That would probably be like a pretty good. I could see you with a girl like that, just like cunning, you know, like both you guys are just, you know, masterminds of just, you know, playing from the background and shit. You got pawns and shit, like we go
into a club, like act like we don't know each other. Like, hey, go over, see how many drinks you can go.
Mrs. Smith type shit, bro.
See, exactly.
Both got silencers on the hips.
Exactly.
That's the ride or die, man. I feel like every dude deep down inside, at some point in time, that's what we're typically looking for, right? I don't know. I'm just speaking for myself.
Yeah.
That's why we're very stingy with our investments, the time that we invest. But
you just want,
Yeah, because
I don't know. It's hard to really explain. I mean, everyone has their own variations of it, but
it's like you want girls to use their powers for you. You know what I mean? Because before, like, they're using their powers for themselves. Like, oh, I'm trying to sneak around to my man and talk to these other dudes without him knowing.
True. Yeah, to a point. Yeah, kind of.
Just use all that energy keep that same energy for the good of the relationship. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I'm gonna use my cunning powers.
That's true, because girls like to art. Like, for some reason, girls are always like, when you say something, girls will always be like trying to go against you, trying to start something, but when someone else says something, they're always quiet. They're like, hey, why don't you say something to this? Like, he's talking to you like that. Like, say something to this dude. Like, say something to this girl. They're just quiet, like, we're in public. Oh, I don't want to look like, it's like, oh, but when I say something, you want to act all crazy, get in front of my face, but you don't want to get at this random dude. Like, oh, okay.
You're supposed to be the person that she projects everything on. Like, it's not supposed to make sense. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, why you have to use your powers against me? Like, you're supposed to use your powers for the sake of the relationship.
Because it's therapeutic for her.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
listen, what CJ's trying to say is,
like, what you're asking for is impossible, bro. Like,
what CJ's trying to say is, I know
what he's trying to say.
That energy when we pull up the KFC or Popeyes, and I know that the coupon just expired yesterday. I want her to go in there with the bogus coupon and be like, hey, bro, we ain't playing that. Like, I got my kids in the car. I want her to talk her shit so that we get that chicken.
And I'm in the back seat looking through the window like, okay, yeah, she got it.
Yeah, or you're in line. You're just like, hey, bro, like, I got to put up with this at home, bro. Like, you just get us out of here so we can both be back in peace.
Well, yeah, that's where you coordinate the battles. You know what I mean? That's something you got to work out with each other, where it's like, hey, look,
that's over time. But when it comes natural though, that's when you're like, hey, you skip a whole bunch of steps. It's like, okay, we cool.
Yeah,
sounds like a very
like, hey, bro, like, I saw your
I know
deal.
I know it's
I just switched you real quick. We got an extra Disney bundle package on the back end with Verizon. I'm like, damn, okay.
Yeah, it's I mean, if you can get lucky, man.
Yeah, you guys want that chick that just be like this. You don't gotta say nothing. She just like taking the earrings off, ready to go.
Yeah. What the heck?
Just on cue.
Hey, I got a bunch of dudes in my Instagram DMs right now. What do you want on your pizza? I got a dude who's gonna send one through for us. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool.
I see.
Now it's like, oh, nah, all this side stuff for you. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Is that too much to ask?
So you're saying you want her to like honey dick a dude? Like, okay, I see what you mean. Getting resources.
For good,
that's another whole aspect. But yeah, we've been there too.
It's kind of what my roommate does. Not this one. Forget about it, man. We're not even gonna get into it.
We've all been there. I mean, we've all used. I mean, when we on the Netflix, it's probably the dude's Netflix. But
it's just like the guys who do that actually in real life, they're called pimps. You understand? Pimps actually get to do shit like that. The problem is, why do I gotta? Yeah, I know. But like, the problem is, it's like, why do you respond to a guy who's like, why can't we just talk this out and like come together with an agreement? But it's got to be like, oh, this whole situation and hierarchy and song and dance and just bullshit.
Because it's a test, man. Like, that's just part of the protocol. It's got to be a test. Like if you're gonna chat it up with a chick, that you're trying to date or something. If you're nice and agreeable about everything, it's not gonna work out. You got to challenge her a little bit. If she stops talking or like leaves you on red, if you text her something like,
and with girls, you gotta play everything right too, which is at the same time, yeah. Well, if you want to progress quickly, you got to hit everything right. Like, and it gets to a point like, and I only say that because it's like, you'll notice it like when you get to a certain point, like after doing it, you're just like, dang, I must be very good at it to be, getting everything I want quickly. You get what I'm saying? Because if you like think about it, I mean, and it's not like to be like non-humble, but do you think like, oh, the majority of maybe people you run into on the streets or people you run into at work or friends, like majority of them are pulling like the same, like, girls that you're pulling or talking to?
Nope.
Outside of, like, you have that group of friends that are probably, in the same, demographic of women or at least doing the same thing you're doing. But then you also have those other, group of people who are just like, kind of like, oh, I know this person, or I know this person from school or whatever. But you can kind of tell, like, majority, like, yeah, I'm kind of on a different, hitting different chicks or whatever.
So it comes down to your game, right? Sometimes
it's a game. It's a game thing.
You have more of a blowout. Everything goes right. You built up your roster,
And some players know that too. Like if you ask, like some players, like after a game, if they only drop like 20 or 30, they're like, man, I know I had a bad game, but I know I can do better. Like what? To other guys, it's like, hey, you dropping 30 every night. That was a bad game. Okay. And players know this. It's not like they're like, man, I'm dropping 30. That's a lot. To them, it's like, man, this is, I should be doing more.
Well, that's the thing. It's like when you're used to it, it's a matter of how many shots you've already taken, how many L's you've taken, how many mistakes you learned from. So then it kind of becomes like autopilot. You know what I mean? So when you see a situation come up, you already know what the protocol is. And you just do what you got to do.
Yeah, exactly. That's why over time, you're kind of hitting every response. You're like, oh, I know how to respond to that to get what I want. And the next thing you know, it's like, okay, you just kind of notice. Like, have you ever noticed when you do something good, you're like, damn, I know how to do this. Like, oh, I'm really good at this. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I know exactly. Now at this point, it's like, she responds with this. Oh, yeah, I know how to. And she responds back with like, ooh.
But sometimes
it's like a sale. It's like when you're trying to sell something, it's just like, oh, they give me this. Objection, I know the rebuttal.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing.
But it also depends though on what you're asking for and who you're talking to.
Well, check it out. Let me give you an example though. So say, because more often than not with a chick, there's going to be a point in time where she's going to try to see what you're made of. She's going to hit you with like, it's going to be a shit test, but it's going to try. The objective is to get an emotion out of you, the emotion that she wants. So like when you're texting the chick and you guys are going back and forth, and it's going to seem kind of boring to her because you're being very agreeable. She's going to hit you with something like, I don't know, she'll be like, say you want to make plans to meet up, and she's just like, oh, well, da-da-da-da is going on or whatever. And then you text her something back, and she doesn't text back. Now she's trying to see, like, what you're made of. So if I don't text anything back or I text her something simpy, it's over for you. It's done. But if you text something back like, are you always this talkative? Now you're challenging her. You get what I'm saying? So when she's challenged, it's like you're kind of getting the point across like, oh, I thought you were cool. I guess not. And then she always wants to be the cool one. She always wants to be cool, So she's going to say something back.
Yeah, they can't just leave. It's like one of those things like you just ask me a question and they're just like, they're staring at it, trying not to answer. They're like,
overthinking it. When us, we just shoot. I'm just shooting, man. Ba, ba, ba. It doesn't even have to be like a question. And that's kind of the thing. It's like you either get stagnant and you overthink like them, and they kind of notice that you're overthinking and that, dries up her pussy, or you notice, like this is the same sort of objection that you come across before, and you know how to, like de-escalate it, or rather escalate her to get a response out of her as opposed to her getting a response out of you that she wants. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I think
Counter.
based on what you're talking about right now, there's that, but then there's also like just recognizing certain like signs or like a green light in a sense. So if you get a green light and you don't take it, it's over for you too. It's a different type of test in a sense. Like, I'll give you an example. I was talking to a girl on like Bumble the other day, and it was going pretty well. And then she threw out a weird, it's not like she threw out a question or something, but I asked her like, how's it going, COVID-19, whatever. And her response was, oh yeah, I moved out here to Hollywood, blah, 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 with my friend. I just thought it was the change of pace would get my creative juices flowing. And I just went to go say, like, I had my own sort of like strategy that I want to hit. So I was trying to lead her to a certain line of question so I could hit her with a certain thing and move the conversation a certain direction. But when she answered like that, I kind of was like, oh yeah, that's really cool. Like Hollywood, blah, blah, blah. And then I asked her another question, but and then she didn't respond to me. And I looked back at the other question, and I was like, wait, she didn't have to respond with, like, if I asked her like, hey, like, why'd you move to Hollywood? She told me, she could have just said, oh yeah, my best friend's out here, I just want to hang out with her. She said, my best friend's out here, I want to hang out with her. It's an opportunity for me to get my creative juices flowing. All that extra shit, the open door for the innuendo and shit. If a chick's not really trying to mess with you, she won't leave that door open. So if you don't take that door and kind of like lead it down the path,
I get what you're saying.
It starts to dry up real quick for you too, because you're like, oh, he's
not caring about they can kind of see through it, like, oh, he has like a script he's going through, like kind of, and like Toss, like going back, you brought up like the whole like when we were doing with ADT, like people can see through the BS. Like if you're going through a script, it's like, man, this guy just sounds like a robot.
Yeah,
like when you're going with girls, they're like, oh, this sounds like he just says this with every single, like, this is his script.
Yeah, but also it's like, you don't sound like a robot. Obviously, you got to kind of, depends on your clientele too. You know what I mean? If I'm dealing with
that's what I'm saying though. Like some dudes might think I'm just gonna do it, and then they run into what Justice just said, and they play it like, oh, this is just another. They're thinking that is something, but it's not.
But you can gauge it though, right? You can see what's easy competition, and you can see like, oh, looks like, I'm gonna have to bring out, I'm gonna have to score 50 tonight. You know what I mean? Like, so you just got to gauge it out.
What I'm saying is more so like sometimes they'll throw out a wild card, and if you don't recognize it, because you've been in some situations where it's like you go to the door, you're kind of doing your thing, and then the person's just like out of nowhere, they're just like, all right, man, how much is it? You're not even halfway through your pitch yet or anything. You're just like, So now you need to know how to either like.
What? I love that question. What are you talking? How much is it? Oh, you for real? All right, let's get to it, man. Your credit score.
Yeah, but but everyone's different. But no, I get what you're saying. But again, it just comes down to like who, because some people aren't going to be able to play the wild card. Some people, they'll be able to react on cue, but it just depends on the person.
I'm just saying in general, like typically if you show that you're a challenge or you got backbone.
Yeah.
Because 90% of the dudes that she's talking to are not doing that. Like they're all doing the same shit. They all just easily just buy shit for her or, just doing simp shit. But if you're at the top 1% and you're one of the dudes that's like, nah, bitch, I'm not going to play that game with you. Like, you're either with it or you're not. Then it's going to, like, you're going to have her attention. It's just, I know there's like a slippery slope though, because I had a tendency of playing it too cool.
Or it's not really that. It's just it flushes out, unnecessary. Either they're going to be there or not. At least you'll know from there, like, oh, is she messing with her or not? If you're like that and she's like, oh man, I'm not messing with you, then at least you'll know from that point, like, okay, I don't have to worry about her. If she sticks around,
I just realized this should be Patreon shit, man. Like we kind of put into.
Yeah, we thought we sprinkled some stuff here and there in the last couple of weeks. All
right, man. Free content.
But no, if she what was I saying? No, but yeah, if she decides to stay, she's still hitting you up after that, then you know, like, okay, let's see what we can do with this. But at least that's how I take that. That's like okay, I can flush out like unnecessary, you know, interactions with people.
What do you mean by if she decides to stay?
Like you said, like, because if you play it too cool, like, oh, I'm not gonna. Some girls might just be like, okay, well, he's not easy, I'm gonna go. Right? At least then you'll know, like, okay, this girl was just in it for me to buy her some stuff, and at least you flush all that out. If you play that card and she's still like, plays it like, oh, you're rude, but she's still like messing with you, like still, playing off it, then at least okay, you can, see how it works. That's how I see that, though.
Man, hey, I was gonna say, I remember I had this chick that I was supposed to hang out with. Everything was going cool, and then like right at the last moment, she was like, "If we're gonna hang out and I'm gonna fuck you, then you're gonna have to pay." I'm like, what? But then I was just like, yeah, I don't do that. And then I was just like, no. Then I responded like, because I knew there's two types of women. There's like the casino chicks that are like very like, it doesn't matter what you do. Like if you're gonna hang out with her, you're gonna have to pay. Then there's those other girls that are just like the amateurs that are just like, they don't really know if they want to do that. So I was just like, are you new to this? Like, are you really the type of chick that wants to, make plans and then, what's it called? What did I say? I said like that makes plans and then just charges right at the end. And then she was like I was just like, so you just be hooking on your off time, because she had a normal job. She was a nurse, you know what I'm saying? Like, so then she was like, no, I was just kind of doing it on the side sometimes, but and I was just like, so now I know, like, you don't even know what the fuck you're doing. Like, you don't even understand. You're just trying to play me, So then I was just like,
what?
Yeah. So I was just like, yeah, you know what? I'm good. And then I left that for like 4 or 5 hours. And then she texts me back and she's just like, because this is a party girl too. She's a nurse, but she's also like, party girl, went to fucking USC and stuff. So check it out. She hit me up again. She's like, hey, where are you? Da da da. Like I'm lit right now or whatever. Blah blah blah. And I was like, why do you think you could just hit me up after just pulling that last second? Like you think like everything's just cool, right? And she was just like,
oh, bro.
Well, yeah. She was just like, well, right now, like I'm lit. I got some weed on me. Da da da. Like if you want to kick it, then blah blah blah. I was just like, well, this isn't gonna go unpunished, So what are you gonna do for me to make it worth my time? And then it came down like putting the ball on her court. Then she says some other stuff that I'm not gonna say over here because that's gonna be for Patreon. Okay. She says some other stuff.
Damn. Yo, tell Gina I said what's up, bro.
Why did you say that name, bro? Like that, she has nothing to do with this.
I'm just kidding. I love Gina.
What if she sees this?
She don't watch this, bro.
Bro.
Hey,
skeleton.
I know some people who watch this.
I know some people that. Wow. Hey, you better cut that.
I'll cut that. Cut this part out. I'll find out the minute. That is funny though. Dude, that's interesting. So you're saying an average girls are trying to make money off of hooking up with dudes.
In LA, dude, a lot.
Because
if they, dude, it's almost commonplace because they go on Tinder and Bumble and shit like that, and then they try to like, do the same type of like conversation to like build you up, and they do like the whole thing to set a date and stuff, and then they hit you with that, and then they see how you react. Because if they see that, you're just in it for just to fuck, then they'll just be like, okay, cool. I made me some money. I got fucked too anyways, so might as well make some money off of it. But if they see that you resist, you got some backbone. Not resist, but you got some backbone. Like, bitch, like, what do you think? You think I'm just gonna siphon my motherfucking dough off me? Like, come on. Then, give it like a day, couple hours or so, challenge them, kind of see. You also have to know kind of like what they're trying to do. Because when I told her, like, are you like an amateur at this thing? Like you just said you're a nurse, so you just be doing this, you just be hoeing on the side for money. I mean, so then it made her feel like, she kind of had to question herself, like, I'm not a hooker, but I'm like, yeah, you are. That's what you're doing. So then that bothered her. And then she hit me back up because I'm calling her out on her bullshit. That's really what it comes down to. You just got to call these chicks out on their bullshit. They mostly respect that because it's like when they see somebody that sees the game, then they respect it. Kind of like getting the locker room. You know what I mean? Like if you want to get the players to rally around you, you got to know and understand the game.
It's just interesting that that's happening, though. I've never heard of that. This is like a whole new level of just. Yeah.
It's mostly the party girls though, because if it's a chick that's like a like a conservative type of old fashioned type of chick or whatever, it's like it's not really like that. Or if it's like a nerd chick or whatever.
They're getting too comfortable, bro. This OnlyFans era, like you gotta pay to
play.
I feel sorry for a lot of dudes, man. They're gonna be getting their pockets took. Because now it's like, oh, you don't need game anymore. You just gotta got the biggest pockets. All right, bro, go ahead, go spend your money. I'm gonna go spend this money on some new clothes, some new chains. Make myself look good. I'll pull these girls, old-fashioned way. Now we gotta call it the old-fashioned way. Come on,
yeah,
I'm not even 30. I'm not even 30, bro. Y'all niggas need to stop.
Man. It's 30, man. That's one of the luxuries. That's one of the luxuries of being born in like the 90s or like an era where, like when we were first, I don't know about you guys, but when we first started dating, did we all have access to like a phone or something, or did we use it as heavily as we did?
I wish I was like in that phase where I had a phone, but then my parents would take it away. So then like there was a point where phones made it so easy because I would text. Because at the time I had a girl because I had a phone. But then my parents were like, man, give me your phone, bro. Like you're texting too much. We don't have unlimited texting. So I'm like, damn. So then my girl's like, you're not texting me. I'm like, my parents are going my phone, baby. Like
you had to deal with restrictions.
We broke up later. Because I mean there's no community. You got I can't wait till I see you at school the next day. And then on weekends, it's Friday. You're like, damn, I can't see my girl till Monday. Oh man.
So, but the other thing is this too. It's like we didn't have that much of like social media like dominating.
Yeah.
Our
and
lifestyle.
It wasn't until like high school that we had like Facebook, and then MySpace. MySpace was still popular where we could at least message people. But
was it MySpace first? Pretty sure.
Yeah, MySpace was first. Yeah.
But the thing is, Tausifur trying to say, like, back in the day, you actually had to be fun. Like, you had to, like, know how to, like, keep things going, like, in person, You had to, like, be funny.
That's true, in person.
Cool person.
Yeah.
We had to have personality. Yeah. It's like
we didn't have any emojis back then, You had to, like, make some stuff up. Like, draw some boobs out with the thing, with the letter 8 and shit. Like, you couldn't just smiley face with little parentheses on it. So you had to, like, really be creative back in the day.
You had to stand out, man. You had to just, yeah.
But even now, though, I was thinking about, like, last year, I was talking to one of my buddies, and I was like, dude, we used to go up to girls in person. Never seen them before, ever. Like, start up a conversation, make my way into their group, become a part of the group, take over the group. Like, get every girl's number in the group, then convince their friends that I'm a cool guy, then take the girl away from her friend. I'm like, bro, ain't it all in the span of, like, 90 minutes? Like, think of how crazy that sounds nowadays, or it's like everything.
In a way, I mean, I kind of like it now. I mean, if you can combine them, like now at least you can get rid of like maybe meet somebody online, but then you can like at least get rid of the I have to be cool with her friends part. You know, you don't have to take care of that while you guys meet for the first time. That can be already like taken care of when you guys first like message or whatever. Her friends already know she's got a date. She already said, oh, he's cool. You know, you guys meet up. Oh, we about to go, you know, talk. Okay. Instead of, oh, we just met. Now you have to say hi to everybody. Oh, now everybody has to be like, okay, you guys can go hang out now. So if you can put it, like some people I hate how some people are just like, oh, I just meet guys online. Oh, you want to go out? Sure. Blind date type. I mean, to each his own, but for me, it's like, I'd rather like talk a little bit, get to feel you out. Okay, you're this type of person. Okay, now I'm comfortable.
Now I'm comfortable. You traded one problem for a different problem. Like the new problem is now.
Yeah,
you're competing with Chad and Tyrone and like these other dudes who are like.
But you pick, but then you're not worried because you have already. But then you already have other. You're not worried about who's. Everybody has their own timelines.
I'm pretty sure I'm not looking.
They're not competition. It's more like obstacles. She's now choosing. All right, which one of these dudes am I going to be really messing with now?
Okay, so if she's not messing with me, at least I'm still there. I'm going to shoot my shot. I'm going to do what I'm not thinking about Chad,
the thing is, like, you may not be there. You may not be there, though.
I don't care. I shot my shot. I was there. If I get in there, cool. If
that's what I'm talking about,
the next day,
now it's like, can you get in there?
But you get in the game,
coach. I'm minimizing my investment. Okay,
you can have that same issue the old-fashioned or whatever way. Like it has nothing to do with.
But you have more control, is what I'm saying, though.
Well, yeah, you would.
Well, if you're in person, but you never know.
You could be before you just
met her. She could have just talked to someone else. She could.
She probably is, bro. Like most chicks, like they're already talking to like 6-7 other dudes. Anyways, it's just you're gonna have competition.
What I'm saying is, before you can like, it's not so much on your looks because your looks or like get you in the door online, but in person. Even if you're dressed like trash, you can go up to her and be like, yo, what's up? And she'd be like, you're just like trash. You'd be like, so you just judge guys by the way that they look? You don't even you could like talk your way into a situation. You know what I mean? Online, it's like, if you're dressed like trash, it's just like, you don't even get the opportunity to say some shit.
But then online, you can make yourself look good.
Like, yeah.
It's all like different.
You got time to strategize, you know what I'm saying?
Like, yeah. Dude,
I got my whole coaching staff and shit.
Dude, yeah. Online, you have like the most, like you can create so much. Like you can take a while to. If a girl says, "Oh, yeah, I'm really into blah blah blah." Oh, me too. Oh, you are. What book do you like? Oh, I really like. Google that real quick. Blah blah blah. And on the fly, if you're in person, it's like you can't BS.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What movie?
All of them. Hey, the only thing that sucks is that like for the younger generation that's gonna come into it, like they're not gonna have as much power because like the new era chicks, they're gonna have more power than the younger generation. Us, we got a good balance. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's like we see both perspectives, so we kind of have an upper hand. The rest of these dudes that also just look at like the trajectory of it. Like a lot of people's lifestyles, it's dominated by PS5. You know what I mean? Most people are indoors. You know, a lot of dudes are already like, you know, doing a lot of indoor shit. You know what I mean? So it kind of like diminishes your social interaction.
Yeah.
So if you're not socially savvy, then
let me ask you something.
More likely, you're gonna be paying OnlyFans. Like, there's gonna be a lot of OnlyFans clientele.
Toss, let me ask you something though. You would you say that your like options online have gotten better or worse this year?
They got better.
You got better options.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of like the girls are hotter, or you just have more options in general?
They got hotter, and I got more options just because I figured out how to like optimize, you know, like my bio and pics and all that shit. And
you're trying to base it off the whole COVID situation?
No, it's just more like.
No, I mean just this question.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I was thinking like,
I would think so.
Me personally, I feel like the people who benefited the most probably been fat chicks and probably fat chicks in general. I just think that they're just killing it because there's so many guys out there who want to fuck who don't have good profiles and stuff.
In that aspect,
like, they'll like
I guess
mirrors, and then all of a sudden they have all these options because they're the only chick that are available.
I guess, but I also think on the aspect of people are just like, you'll get more dates just on the fact that people aren't doing anything. So it's like, okay, I have more time, or like I'm getting more dates because, you know, people they don't have work or they don't have school or whatever. So it's like, okay, yeah, we could do something. Or yeah, I'm not doing anything. So they have like so much more time. So it's like, okay,
bro, I was on Hinge, bro, and I was just like, I was literally thinking, man, I must be ugly. Like, I must be like a 3. All I'm getting here is like
Hinge is weird. Like, yeah, it's sometimes you got to change the location on that one. You got to put on a specific.
I was like, bro, SoCal be these SoCal clientele out here now. These are some low quality leads. So I'm glad Toss. I know he likes to do different apps, so I'm glad he's like he just, you know, telling me that it's not all bad out there. You know what I'm saying? It's not all like offensive tackles out there in the draft, you know.
Well, the only thing I would say is like it really just come down to like what kind of pics you're putting up there, because for the longest time I was putting some trash ass pics, bro. Like I wasn't trying that much on my shit, so I kind of just had to optimize it. Like I was giving too much away type of stuff. Just little things like that, because when you think about like when girls are swiping, the first thing they're gonna look at is the pictures. They're not gonna look at your bio. They're not gonna give a fuck about any of that shit. If they fuck with the first pic that you got, then they're gonna look at your bio. Then they're gonna get curious, and then, you know, that'll lead to typically more options. So little things like that, I have to tinker that, and then
we were just talking to Chikadi about that. Change that profile picture. You know?
Oh,
that's what it is, man. Like, you know, chicks, they're mainly just looking. They're gonna judge you off your look first and foremost.
Yeah.
And you got time to be.
Guys, just smart looks. Hey, man,
shut your ass up.
Yeah.
The fuck you talking about? Man, fuck out of here.
Yeah, I mean, the looks thing is everything, and I think the big thing I'm learning about the looks is not even so much that it'll get you like more swipes or matches or whatever. It's more so like it also controls how people respond to you initially. Like if you have certain types of photos where it's like you give off like a really strong, just like, yo, I'm a DTF type of guy vibe, like the girls who match with you are gonna be like, they're not gonna play around too much. But if you give off a vibe where it's like, the pictures are good quality, but it's like, oh, he seems like a nice guy. Like he seems like he has a decent job. Like,
yeah, you gotta play it right. You gotta, and it's better you let out what you're trying to get. That way, again, or at least for me, I like to I like to leave things filtered out. I like to be me straight up. That way, if people are gravitated towards me, they like me because of who I am. They're not coming towards me because of, you know, I'm putting up a fake front. And then later on, they're like, oh, damn, he's different. So I'm going to be like, yo, this is what I'm looking for. This is who I am, blah, blah, blah. If people are like, oh, no, I can't do that. Thank you. Leave. People who, that way I know if I match with someone, oh, it's because they're down. So, you know, that's another thing. It's all about how you portray it. If you're trying to make yourself look like a good boy, don't expect girls to be, oh, let's go out for drinks and, you know, let me come over to your place. Nah, you don't get that girl who's looking for, you know, let me bring you home to my parents. You know, my mom wants to meet you. Let's go to church on Sunday. Blah, blah, blah. Let me meet your dog. Nah, we ain't trying to do that. I'm trying to go eat. Let's go get some drinks. And, yeah.
Why you on this app? You know, like, come on.
I'm just here to meet.
There's people find You can go on the app and find, you know, if you're strictly like, yo, I'm looking for this, blah, blah, blah. There are.
Here's the thing. If you're on Bumble, different story. Okay? Tinder?
Yeah, it also depends. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hinge is like a bit of both.
I mean, girls just trying to meet people now. I look at some people's like DMs and stuff, and it's just like paragraphs. Like, what are y'all talking about? It's like, honestly, bro, we ain't talking about.
First off, in DMs, like, I don't know.
Just looking for friends, just bored. Like, dude, give off a profile. Like, you seem like a guy who would be a good listener. Like,
bruh, some of these chicks just trying to get Instagram. Not even a listener. Like,
oh, you look like a good reader. Like, you can read. You can read these text paragraphs. You're not even listening to anything.
Bro.
It's like they're typically like they're more attracted by, you know, like I make it look like my profile like I don't even take it seriously. You know what I mean? But it's got like a little dose of like playfulness to it, where it's like it kind of like eases the tension of it. It doesn't make it look like, oh, this is my only avenue for ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of
and it sucks because nowadays dudes have to like text girls and stuff like that. Back then it was like you're just on the phone. So if I was ever talking to someone, it's like I'm just on the phone. I'm doing whatever. I'm not even listening. I got the phone laying somewhere on speaker. Yeah, now guys, they have to actually respond back, which sucks for y'all. Because like, damn, you got to actually, you know, do some work. You know,
it's crazy. The last chick I went out with, she showed me her matches and like what other dudes were doing on their profiles and stuff. Man, like you really got to see what not to do in order to know what to do. Yeah. Like it was some of these dudes' first pictures, like, yo, don't ever put a picture of you driving. Okay? Don't do that. That you're gonna turn the pussy into a Mojave Desert. It doesn't work.
Of you driving?
Yeah, there's like a lot of dudes that take like pictures of them in their car and shit. You know, the car selfie. Stop doing that, man. It's not good. They also don't like it. Like, man, girls are just judgmental though. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's a lot of judgment that goes on to it. But
I think what it is like a lot of guys aren't that bad looking. Like a lot of guys are probably, in terms of looks, are probably like probably like a 7.
Like pretty average. For the most
hair or whatever, like
for the most part, yeah. If a guy takes care of it, shaves nicely, does his hair, just respectable, you know, goes out into the world. Yeah, most
like I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, you know, I do me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're a clean dude.
But at the same time, me thinking that I look like decent in a girl's eyes is like when she, with her infinite amount of options, is like you're like almost like a fat girl in a sense. Like I'm like the equivalent of like a fat girl, even though
that's the thing. That's kind of the thing though. Like guys are so, it's really hard for girls to be like, oh, like, you know, this guy's that much, you know. So that's why it's kind of like that. That's kind of why the difference is like that.
There's an attraction spectrum. For us as dudes, the attraction spectrum is more toward like the physical. That's where the initial attraction comes from. Like, you know, she bad, you know, she got fat ass, big ass titties, got my attention. For girls, there's that too. But then, you know, if you got muscles and you look good and stuff like that, and then you start talking and you're a simp, it's over for you. You know? Yeah. She's gonna go with the better option of the dude who's not as attractive, but has, you know, boss tendencies. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Knows how to challenge her. Exactly. It's gonna get her wet. You know what I mean? Like, unlike the dude that's just like, oh, when are we gonna hang out? Or when are you gonna hang out? Or, you know, like the neediness and shit like that.
Yeah.
That's why for girls, like, that's why I'm not even tripping. However way I look, I'm cool with the way I look. I don't care if I'm better or worse looking than her competition. I don't care. I know her competition can't do what I do, so I don't care. I know I'm the shit.
That doesn't mean you can't go to the gym, bro.
Hey, hey man, I got my gym right here. What you talking about, man? You ain't see these 15 pounders over here, bro? Big ass mirrors I got. Y'all don't even see my triceps, bro. But I'm not like that, you know. But
No,
at the end of the day, it's like, you know, whatever you're lacking in, whatever department you're lacking in, you gotta make up for it in another department.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But a lot of these dudes is like,
and even then, it's sometimes like let's say muscles, right? It's not a big deal. You can always go to the gym and get muscles.
Yeah, it's a fixable problem.
Exactly. That's something you can always fix. But if you got that game, you know, it's.
But the thing is, like, what I was trying to say was, like, guys will think that, like, they look decent, and they actually do. The problem is, there's a lot of average-looking dudes out there. So, in the grand scheme of things, even though, like, you look decent, like if an average girl takes a selfie picture, that's fine because the average dude has so many little options that every guy would sort of take that girl because you don't really have that many options anyway.
Yeah.
But compared to girls who have infinite options, an average looking dude is like a 4 to them. They need like someone above average is going to be like.
And again, that's why it's always easier for the ugly girl to get a date to prom than the ugly guy to get a date to prom. It's always going to be like that.
Them's the breaks, son. Them's the breaks. But yeah, man, I think we're about to wrap up here. Do you guys have any other closing things that you want to talk about?
That's pretty much it, man. Welcome back, Charles. That was a long episode. I don't know if that was longer than usual, but it's filling, you know.
Hey, man, last episode, go out with a bang, you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Toss, obviously, like, he's been out here taking notes based on what I've been saying. So you saw that he didn't get hooked out there. You know, he didn't fall for the trap.
Yeah, it's good to see. You know, it's safe.
We missed him. I was like, hey, where this boy at? You know, maybe he got caught up in something. You see, like he's been dodging them hooks. You know, so hey.
You know me, man. I be bobbing and weaving. You know.
I mean, my brother, he looked like Jake Paul out there. You know, just kind of just.
Hey man, shout out Jake Paul, Conor McGregor. Where you at? You not gonna take that 50 mil?
Conor got a fight coming up, man. He ain't worried about that right now. He got a real fight coming up. He about to take care of him first, then he's gonna come out. You know, I do want to see that fight though. You know, I think if Conor does take that fight, he might mess up that dude, bro. I think he's gonna come out with all that rage, like all that, like, dang, you really said that? Like, he's angry. I think after that Khabib fight, everyone was like, man, this guy's. I think if he takes that fight and he was going at his wife, you know Conor McGregor. He ain't no. Y'all forgot Conor McGregor. He's one of those dudes. If he could kill you in the ring, like you see those movies, if they're like, if he dies, he dies. Connor's that dude. He beats up old dudes in the pub, bro. He's beating up old dudes in the pub.
And he ain't taking no prisoners. He's a warrior.
I think if he takes that fight, he might hurt that boy. Man.
What if Jake Paul
about that dude? Jake Paul called this man's wife.
Your life is over.
That's true. That's true. It's a boxing match, so
that'd be the most prominent rise. Like I think probably would go down in like all-time sports history. Like
yeah,
I don't think anyone's ever done that.
I forgot it's boxing. Are we gonna give? Because we saw Conor box. He's not.
He was okay.
Wait, are they gonna box each other or are they gonna face each other in the octagon?
That's what I'm saying.
It'll be boxing.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be in the octagon.
No, I'm sure it's gonna be boxing. I don't think he's gonna let him. I'm sure they're not gonna let Conor throw him in the octagon.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
But we saw Conor box the greatest boxer of all time. We saw him box the greatest boxer of all time. We didn't see him box no scrubs or anything.
I don't know.
That's the thing.
Conor was okay for like the first couple.
Yeah, the first round, but that's always how.
This is Floyd, though. We'll see. This is who else has looked good against Floyd? Oscar? Canelo? Who else has looked good against my man? Sugar Shane? They all look trash against Floyd. All of them. I mean, Conor at least went out there and won some rounds. So I'm saying, hey, Jake Paul, if Conor goes in there
he got gas.
Come on, bro. It's gonna be now. But if Jake Paul be actually training by Mike Tyson and stuff, it could be interesting.
They actually train. That's why I give him benefit of the doubt, because it's not like there's some like kids going in to do it for. They actually train. They actually put in that work. So that's why I give them the benefit of the doubt that they could pull it off. But
I just know they'll.
Yeah, I just hope
their
marketing that Floyd fight.
Their marketing is crazy right now. I think if Jake Paul does get the,
it's not even marketing. It's not even marketing anymore, bro. You know what it is at this point. If you got a big enough platform, you can say whatever. It's going to be in the media, and then you play off it. That's it. Say the most outrageous thing. You know who you are. It's going to be put out there on Twitter. Tweet something. Is gonna. That's marketing.
Bro, my man.
It's just gotten very easier.
My man pulled up on Conor's boy, threw some water balloons at him, and drove off in a truck. If he knocks out his training partner, Conor's got to jump. You got it. He called your wife before. He knocked out your best friend. You got to fight him now. You got to fight my man now. And then if you have Floyd and Conor on the same
you got to defend your honor.
They're getting my money. I got to see what's going to happen now. I got to see Floyd take out the brother.
Yeah.
I got to see Conor take out the other brother. Yeah. So it's about to be – some hands will be thrown that night. It's going to be interesting. But them boys is getting rich.
I ain't paying for shit, but definitely going to watch the fight.
Got to make some spectacle out of it, some type of tag team event. You got Floyd and Conor, putting aside their differences.
Hey, wasn't what's his name? Logan going to fight Mayweather?
Yeah.
The one, the brother's gonna fight Mayweather. The one who beat Nate
that's not a good idea, man. That's not a good idea because he couldn't even beat KSI. If they should have Jake Paul fight Mayweather, that's a different story. But I don't know.
That's what they're saying. But I don't know, man. We'll see.
I mean, again, Mayweather the greatest of all time. So they need to give him a challenge. You have a young kid who's like 200 pounds, 6'3", white. Like
it's a good fight only on the fact that is Floyd gonna lose his first fight? That's it. It has nothing to do with this guy, he's good. It's just is this the fight that Floyd's gonna lose? That's it.
It's gonna be interesting though. But we need to redeem ourselves. I heard Jamel Hill ask Jake Paul like, "Hey, was it racist when you knocked out?" And my man's just like, Like, these are embarrassing questions, man. Like, we need somebody
Nate
to
Robinson
everybody.
And Tyron Woodley. Y'all ain't doing it, man. Nate Robinson and Tyron Woodley, man. You guys, man, just adding to the L's of this year, bro.
Dude, there should be a council where it's like, if you're gonna like put up the whole culture and like potentially disrespect the whole culture, like we need to have like a council meeting, like Obama in there.
I thought somebody called the police.
We need a couple people being like, yo, before you guys do anything, like we need these people to approve it first. Can't have people just saying crazy shit.
I know if that was.
No, they deal with it after. They deal with it.
I don't know if that was like Jake Paul or LAPD, bro. For a sec, I was like, damn, man, did him like that, out cold. Crazy. Man. I almost wanted to file a complaint at the station. I was like, what's his bad nose? Bro, I saw that shit on Twitter, man. I was like, what? Man, that shit is crazy. That's Nate Robinson, probably the most pound for pound, most athletic basketball player that's played in the NBA. Pound for pound. You know what I mean? 5'9". Won the dunk contest twice. That Nate Robinson? Oh my God, bro.
I mean, all he can do is jump, I guess.
He didn't jump away from that punch, right? Clean, bro.
Yeah, he should have jumped. He should have been like something new to boxing. Like, I'm sure you can jump. There's no penalty against jumping. You should have brought something new, like, this is the jumping boxer.
How you gonna hop over Dwight Howard, but you can't like dodge a punch?
Yeah, do something new. Bring some brands. You want to brand yourself? Oh, the jumping boxer. You jump over.
I like Nate Robinson. Like, man, that really changed everybody's perception on it. That's gonna go down. You should have never taken that fight. Wow, I don't even know how that happened.
That's just embarrassing, bro. There's no way to come back from that.
Man.
He better have made some money. I've been hearing like they didn't make no money. I'm like, bro, you better have made some money on that.
You better have made something off of that, man. You better have made at least more than the Knicks paid you. Shit.
I mean, that's crazy. That was just insane. But all right, man, we got Christmas coming up. NBA season's back. 2020.
Cares about Christmas, man. Hey, man, it's gonna be Kwanzaa on the 26th, so happy Kwanzaa. What?
See the two African people not even mentioning that.
I'm not talking about you guys. I got my own dashiki in my closet.
Oh, okay. Hey, why don't you actually embrace your own religious holidays, man, from your own culture?
I did. You see? See that? See that right there? Always, man.
What is that?
Alhamdulillah. You know what I'm saying? Man.
But yeah, man, I don't really see you out here celebrating Eid Mubarak or any of that shit. So
I'm out here. I'm just not public about it, because I'm a humble person. I don't gotta put my religion out there like that. Behind the scenes. Hey, I'll tell you this much: if I was a professional athlete before pregame, you're gonna see me like this. Praying before the game, and then you're gonna see me, either scoring a goal, dropping about, like 15, 10 assists, because I'm not a scorer. I'm more of like a playmaker type of dude. But we don't have to get into that. It's all good.
You know what, though? Before we sign off, you just brought this to my attention again. I just wanted to say, like, CJ, he actually came out with a banger randomly, out of nowhere, just kind of just resurfaced. I thought it was like, is this like lost demo tapes or just, I don't know what happened, but
he back from the dead, bro. He back from the dead, Oh, y'all thought he was dead, but
I seen were you in the sunken place? And he just came out like it was crazy.
Look, man, it's like when Goku died and he had to come back. They finally found the 7 Dragon Balls. He's back. So hey, I'm excited to see what else you got, man.
You like Vegeta, you just like we were just like, man, like I don't know if you can go like that Super Saiyan God mode. You didn't go through the whole process that Goku went through, and then all of a sudden,
yeah, we never saw that Super Saiyan 3. You just skipped that, but
skipped everything. Good. I was like,
it's all good though. Hey, 2021 might be your time, man.
I got some
excited to see what happens because you guys were out here. Best freestyler I've seen. All right. Best on the freestyle, killed the cypher. Class of 2021. I'm very harsh with my critiques. I'm not very, I don't hand out compliments like that. Hey, but man, kid did his thing,
Hey, I gotta do my thing for my peoples. I get them out here. I moved out here to LA. I got Toss out here. My man need a roommate all of a sudden, so it may be time for you, I'm a scout. That's what I do. I try to scout out talent, try to tell them like, yo, like I know some people out here, just make the right connections. So this may be your time, man. I'm like, hey, like the kid got some juice right now. Let's see time to squeeze.
Yeah, that's cool. And you know what? It's a team effort. We're all a team at the end of the day. Although Justice, it kind of sucked that, you had COVID or whatever. You couldn't make it out here. But, it's all good. I got the whole group together. I made it happen. You know what I mean? They made some new connections. Might turn into something like
now? You Diddy trying to make the band and shit?
Oh, I'm not trying to take no credit or nothing. I just
all up in the video
to my place. Everybody just kicking the shits, and then they went in, and then things happen. New relationships, new new teams being built. Who knows where it's gonna lead? So it's exciting.
Yeah, man, 2021, man. Let's get ready, yo.
Man, you mobile boys though, like y'all need to learn how to work together. That's what I'm saying. It's just like this nigga, his own.
It's a start. It's a start. Hey,
crazy.
I bought them over to this house, right? It's not just Mobile boys I bought together, you know? Because I'm from Mobile. He's from Mobile. Yeah, Eli's from Mobile. My boy Brandon, you know, check him out. B Sizzle, you know, pretty boy Fleazy, you know what I'm talking about? At B what is it? What's his Instagram handle? At
Young High Flyers.
Yeah, at Young High Flyers, man. You know, he's from Florida, man. He's from Jacksonville, you know, out here in Cali, Ontario, now in Houston, you know what I mean? Bought him together with Cotty. You know, Cotty would have never even met Brandon. He would have never even met Brandon if it wasn't for me giving him that opportunity at the theater at one time, handing out tickets. But it's all good. I'm not trying to take no credit or nothing like that. But, you know, then they met my roommate from Arizona. Now, Arizona's in the mix with Mobile and Ontario and Florida. Man, international, man. I don't know. Somebody said that about me. Whispers and stuff. But, hey, I'm just excited to see where this goes. You know, it's going to be exciting. This upcoming year, I might jump on a train.
I mean, people keep saying, like, are you bad? Like, what are you doing with your life right now, man?
Oh, you asking me?
Not you. No, we don't give a fuck about you. We'll talk about CJ.
Oh,
I'm chilling, bro. Quarantine chilling, man. Just working here and there. Everything that I wanted to do, but just didn't have the time because life was going on, you know. Now I got the time to do it. So,
hey,
you know,
quarantine might have been the best thing that happened.
That's what I'm saying.
Man,
well, I don't want to say that because
if you don't make a quarantine music video in your house of you like cleaning the garage,
I thought about that, but
like what's his name?
I do. Hey, I do. 2021, man.
I can
see. Hey, you
like,
gotta make
like
a music
Tyga or Kyle.
Just I got these dudes who we'll see what happens.
Hey, you gotta let Justice jump on one of those music videos, man, doing something.
I'll see. Hey, when it comes to videos, like I got so many. Like that's another thing, like short film ideas. Like if you know some actors or some people who need writers for like show, I got some ideas already. But
hey, leave it to me, man. I got that.
I got some Justice. You want to spot in some, I already got I got a spot for Justice on some show I wrote up, which you'll fit nicely. It's kind of like our life already. It's kind of like our life, it's kind of cliche. I'm a star trying to make it, kind of like a Atlanta spinoff, kind of think of Atlanta Power type of
Entourage.
Spinoff. Kind of like Entourage too. That's I got a lot of my inspiration from there, but someone trying to make it in the industry, then you got his entourage, you got his friends, Justice, you're in there, you're like the manager dude. You got Toss, he's like the, keeps his ear to the streets, but yeah, a lot of ideas, man, a lot of ideas.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds dope. We should definitely, I mean, it's just tough. I mean, it's tough for everybody. COVID's made it tough for everybody to meet up and stuff. So it's kind of cool that you guys are going to do that. But yeah, it looks like we got some flashes. It's just like some sparks of something popping off. So I'm like, okay, all right. CJ in the playlist now. Hasn't been in the playlist since like 2010.
Hey man, 011.
So that was interesting. But yeah, definitely keep it coming. And this will probably be the last episode of the year, I guess. We'll see. I'm still trying to see if we can get some more people to do a more Patreon one where you just kind of go off on either like what happened this year or just like some crazier topics that we don't know.
Like a recap. Yeah.
Yeah. It just depends on who we can get on the last episode because we still got one more week. See what happens.
Hey, so if you made an Entourage show, so Justice would be like Drama from Entourage, huh? I'm just saying, man. Justice like Entourage. Justice like Drama. I would probably be like Eric.
No, why would you be Eric? I would be Eric.
Cause I be making it happen, man. I'm out here.
Yeah, I don't know. I would. Justice would probably be Eric.
How's Justice Eric?
Man? You're more turtle, bro. You're more turtle.
Nah, I'm not a turtle.
Nah, yeah,
turtle, bro.
I'm either a Ari or I'd be like
you ain't no.
Toss I can't see Toss as any. If anything, I could see Toss as what's his name? The main dude.
Mark
Whatever his name
Wahlberg?
is.
Oh no, the
Vince?
Vince.
Yeah. If anything, I could if I had to place you because you couldn't be anyone else. If you had to be someone, I'd say.
I mean, I'm not objected to.
Yeah, only because I guess we could give you some. You're in the comedy thing. You could always run that. Like,
oh, you're just gonna throw me in, huh? Like, man, let's give this nigga something, you know? Like,
well, yeah, because I can't really. You're not Turtle. Yeah, you're not Turtle. You're not either. The only person you can fit is.
So it's all good.
Turtle was cool. Well, he was cool later.
Yeah, he gets cool later.
You gotta stick with the progression. You gotta stick with. He got with Ronda Rousey. I mean, I'll give him props for that. You gotta give him the progression. And then he got with Laura London, and later on, he was getting some girls.
He got with Ronda Rousey before she got knocked out too.
So. Yeah, he was pulling girls. You know, Turtle's like the progression dude. Like he used to be fat, then he gets to glow up.
He got the Avion tequila going.
Man, that character development, dude. a lot of writing went into that. That's all good.
Yeah, Drama's character doesn't really do. He don't really do much. So
you got to be the washed up dude. No one wants to be Drama.
Yeah. You gotta. There's only so many cool characters.
Only the OG, like the everyone's favorite uncle. You can be that man. You can be Drama, bro. Go.
Yeah. But all right, man. We're gonna end it here. I guess we'll have to wait and see if we do like another episode for the Patreon or not. But until then, maybe see you guys next year.